Mitigating impact of flooding. Experts call for desilting of water channels in Nigeria. Practitioners of Content Creators, Skit Making and Influencers Guild of Nigeria to collaborate with police in improving online content. And DG NTA re-echoes imperativeness of propagation of Nigeria's rich heritage for promotion of unity in diversity. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on NTA News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The recently appointed federal permanent secretaries have been inaugurated. The 8 new permanent secretaries took turns respectively for their oaths of office before the presidents, just before the commencement of Wednesday's meeting of the Federal Executive Council. They are to fill the vacant positions in the highest cadre of the Federal Civil Service. Out of them, Emanso Umobong is representing Akwa Ibom State, Emeka Ubi, Anambra State, Fatima Mahmood, Bauchi State, Mohammed Danjuma, Jigawa State, Olubumi Olusanya, Ondo State, and Mariam Keshinro, Zamfara State. Chinyere Akujobi is representing Southeast, while Christopher Ikopunwu represents the South-South geopolitical zone. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation for Lashade, Yemiason implores the new permanent secretaries to hit the ground running with fresh vigor while making diligence their watchword. Now, having a comprehensive master plan, which includes desilting the water channels and early actions, are sure ways of mitigating the impact of flooding in the country. These were the submissions of guests on Good Morning Nigeria while discussing flooding mitigating impact. Steve Lonai Nwakolo reports.
Drop of the recent flooding in some parts of the country, guests on Good Morning Nigeria are canvassing a multifaceted approach that includes infrastructure development, policy implementation, community engagement, as well as proper environmental management to mitigate the impact of flooding in the country.
We convened an emergency coordination forum where all disaster response partners are placed under one roof, and we reviewed these predictions, and we put everybody on alert.
How do we prepare for rainfall, especially when we have predictions from NIMET telling us the volume of rain that we expect? The challenge in Lagos is actually that of managing flood pathways into the lagoon.
They also recommend construction of flood defenses, such as levees, dams, and flood walls in vulnerable areas to control water flow and protect communities against flooding.
Flood management is not a responsibility. As I said, when we come out with a document, it does not relieve you of your responsibility to pay attention to your environment.
Enforcement of strict zoning laws to prevent building in flood-prone areas and ensuring that new developments include flood mitigation measurements and education of communities about flood risk and safety measures are ways to mitigate flooding.
We make what we call community sensitization in different strategic areas within our senatorial areas, and we engage them fully.
The document was there. Let them know what is going to happen in terms of a flood vulnerability mapping of these states.
It is the expectations that combining these strategies, Nigeria will significantly reduce the impact of flooding and enhance the resilience of its communities. In Abuja, Steve Lonai Nwakolo, NTA News.
Sultan of Sokoto and President General Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs Mohammed Saad Abubakar has lauded the federal government for the 150-day duty-free import window to tackle inflation in the country. The spiritual leader gave the commendation at a meeting with district heads from across the 23 local government areas of Sokoto State. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports.
In the usual tradition, the engagement was convened to discuss issues bordering on the state and country. Top on the agenda was the rising inflation and skyrocketing of prices of food items as well as other essential commodities in the country. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar described the federal government's 150-day duty-free import window for food commodities, suspension of duties, tariffs and taxes for the importation of certain food commodities through land and sea borders as a welcome development. The initiative, he noted, will help in reducing the persistent rising cost of living in the country. Sultans had urged the district heads to continue to do their best in tackling banditry and other security challenges in their domains and called on all Nigerians to continue to pray for the leadership of the country. The Sultan directed the district head of Kilgori, Muhammad Jabi Kilgori, to intimate the meeting on a move by the Sultanate Council to establish Caliphate Microfinance Bank and the need for the district heads to support livestock productivity and resilience support program, LPRES, of the federal government to ensure sustainable peace and food security in the country.
The Caliphate Microfinance Bank is an initiative of the Sultanate Council that wants to assist the downtrodden, the lower communities that need capital, working capital, to be able to enhance their welfare and enhance their business, local, small and medium enterprise.
The meeting later continued behind closed doors. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
Minister of Transportation Saidu Ahmed Al-Khali and members of the Senate and House of Representatives Committees on Transportation have inspected the ongoing railway modernization project along Kano to Kaduna. The lawmakers expressed satisfaction with the level of work done so far, promising to make funds available for timely completion of rail projects across the country. Vivian Izadife reports.
Transportation in the development and growth of the nation has been re-emphasized as the Minister of Transportation, Senator Saidu Al-Khali, and the Joint Committee members on Land Transportation visited the ongoing modernization of the rail project from Kano to Kaduna. While speaking to journalists after a ride from Kano to Mekarfi in Kaduna, the legislator said there will be further discussions on some of the issues hindering the progress of the project, and they will also ensure speedy dispensation of funds for the timely completion of the project before the deadline.
Also by the contractor trying to deliver the project in time. We understand that the deadline given to them is 2025 or 2026, but we are hoping that by 2025, if they sustain the tempo, they will be able to deliver. There are other challenges connected with the project, particularly the funding arrangement, which we intend to discuss with the DMO, the Minister of Finance, the Attorney General of the Federation, and also the Minister of Transportation, because we have oversight on railways, and we will do whatever is humanly possible to ensure that this project is completed in time.
It's a wonderful job, ongoing job that is being carried out by the CCCC. And there's a lot that we have seen and a lot more, much more needs to be done, because railway transportation is very, very important to the growth and development of every nation. So we need to give it the much needed attention as it stands. They need funding for the job to be completed.
On the state of ongoing projects across the country, the minister reiterated commitment to the deployment of safety measures put in place to protect projects from being destroyed by vandals.
So that by the time we get to the budget session, most of the issues, the rest of the projects are seen by themselves. That will make it much more easier for us to defend what the ministry is doing in terms of the railway modernization. The president, the ministry, and of course the Nigerian Railway Corporation are working hard to ensure that these vandals did not destroy our properties. We are deploying so many measures, surveillance, in conjunction with the security agencies, to ensure these properties are not allowed to be vandalized.
They, however, emphasized that the ongoing modernization of the transportation system is a priority of the federal government, which is under the Renew Hope agenda. Vivian Ezadifi, NTA News.
Now, since its establishment in 1991, the Kogi State Sharia Court has been tasked with adjudicating cases related to Islamic Sharia law. The creation of a comprehensive law report covering judgments from 1991 to 2023 will assist legal practitioners in the administration of justice and serve to immortalize the pioneer leadership and judicial officers of the court. Here is Abdulsalam Mohammed's report.
I hereby inaugurate the committee.
The inauguration ceremony held in Lokoja was led by the State Chief Judge, Justice Josiah Mejebi. He commended the court's leadership for the initiative and urged other courts to follow suit, ensuring that judgments are available for reference. Justice Abdulkarim Arua, the Grand Cadi of Kogi State, elaborated on the committee's terms of reference, emphasizing the importance of documenting this legal precedent.
The law report shall cover 1991 to 1993 period and shall be in sequential volumes to collect, collate, select, and package the court judgments for the publication.
Messages of support came from the Lokoja branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, with Justice Musa Uhu responding on behalf of its members.
We have noted the terms of reference of the committee, and inshallah, we are going to deliver as mandated.
The committee, chaired by Justice Nuruddin Yusuf Abdullahi and including Ibrahim Danladi Yakubu as secretary, has been given 3 months to complete its assignment. This initiative marks an important step in the documentation and administration of Sharia law in Kogi State, providing a vital resource for legal practitioners and ensuring the legacy of the court's early leaders. Meanwhile, a prayer session was organized by the staff of the Sharia Court for the peace and stability of the state and the nation, marking the beginning of the new Islamic year 1446. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
The Rural Electrification Agency is set to partner with the Nigerian Television Authority to fast-track the actualization of the National Electrification Plan for enhanced socio-economic gains. And the managing director of the agency, Abba Abubakar Aliu, disclosed this when he paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of the NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos. Tokbe Alabi reports that the agency expresses optimism that collaborating with the NTA will accelerate the actualization of the federal government's policy.
As the saying goes, where there is light, there is life. And with almost 85 million Nigerians currently lacking access to electricity in many off-grid communities, it is only natural for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda to solve the challenges uniquely. These, among other reasons, is why the Managing Director of the Rural Electrification Agency, Abba Abubakar Aliu, is seeking a reliable collaboration with the Nigerian Television Authority to actualize federal government's inclusive policy to allow more people have access to electricity. The Managing Director highlighted some of the policy guidelines, including the mapping system and implementation phases, which include the nation's universities and teaching hospitals through mini-grids and solar systems, as well as training 100 students in each of the ivory tower to build capacities in renewable energy.
We want to give every single Nigerian opportunity to have access to where are even the so-called 85 million Nigerians? Where are the underserved communities? Where are the unserved? Where are the served? If we say that we provide mini-grid to 150 communities, where are they? Have they moved from unserved to served? So that everybody can have an app on his system and access the entire mapping of the country.
NTA's Director General Salihu Abdulhamid Dambos says Africa's largest TV network will continue to support policies aimed at ameliorating the country's socio-economic challenges. He, however, raised concerns over the manner in which some of the federal government critical infrastructures are being vandalized by unscrupulous elements in the society.
I know quite a number of people don't seem to fully get a grasp of the agency's mandate. But through information dissemination and, of course, our effort, I think we'll be able to do that properly by way of giving you the opportunities to be coming on board so that people will listen to you, and where there are needs for you to also have one-on-one interaction with viewers, of course, that is going to also add value to what we are doing.
The Federal Executive Council recently approved a $750 million electricity project of the Rural Electrification Agency to start in August, with funding provided by the World Bank. Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
And Tokwe Alabi reports that the Nigerian Television Authority says the propagation of the country's cultural values and customs will continue to be on the front burner in preserving the nation's rich heritage towards the promotion of unity in diversity. Director General of the NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dambos, was speaking while he received the Executive Secretary, National Institute for Cultural Orientation, Biodun Ajiboye, and his team.
To build a nation is to sustain historical values its people cherish. And this, the NTA says, remains top-notch in its mandate in propagating culture and tradition. The Executive Secretary, National Institute for Cultural Orientation, Biodun Ajiboye, believes Nigeria's cultural elements and heritage are limitless, with millions of viewers from the global stage.
We must realize that a person is first a cultural being before becoming a citizen of a country. We can't even talk about patriotism and nationalism if we don't appreciate our cultural identity. And until we as a people come to a point to realize our cultural identity, we cannot form a component of our national identity.
NTA's Director General Salihu Abdulhamid Dambos says through its program contents and news reportage, the organization will continue to run an inclusive and participatory platform.
We always try to propagate and also encourage our cultural diversities and, of course, the values that we attach to them. So it is in this line that I would like to assure you and your management that, of course, we'll continue to do what we are doing, but I think we'll do better by way of collaborating between the two organizations.
There are expectations that NTA and NECO's strategic partnership will rejuvenate Nigeria's cultural heritage and values, which will rebrand Nigeria's image in the outside world. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
We'll pause for a quick break here. More reports shortly. Stay with us.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Welcome back. Practitioners of Content Creators, Skit Making and Influencers Guild of Nigeria has condemned unwholesome online content designed to misguide Nigerians or presents the country in a bad light. President of the association, Michael Obinna Nwabufo, says they are working towards sanitizing the space and are currently sensitizing content creators and influencers on the way to go. This was while briefing newsmen after a meeting with the police in Abuja on the arrest of a social media content creator over his ritual prank video. The association also promised to go after online scammers.
To get Zifancy out, what Zifancy did was actually a crime, and he is going to be using himself as a scapegoat to address the country and other content creators. We have the crypto industry, and then there are people, they call them crypto vendors, and they scam and use their space to scam Nigerians. I've spoken to the Commissioner of Police. I will be bringing a lot of petitions. If you have been scammed by these people, just drop me an email or name the crypto vendors that have scammed you.
He commended the Nigerian police for the role they play in keeping the country safe, promising to collaborate with them in improving online content. The Nigerian Navy has continued to display its commitment to maintaining civil-military relationships as they extend friendliness with host communities around its operational areas. This was obvious at Delta Sanity 2 Medical Rhapsody exercise put together by the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Mosul, Iguama Brass local government area of Bayelsa State. Baratwapre Awe, who witnessed the exercise, has details.
Away from its constitutional military operations of safeguarding Nigeria's territorial waters and protection of the nation's critical assets in the maritime domain, the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Mosul is in its host community Iguema in Brass local government area of Bayelsa State for the Delta Sanity 2 Medical Rhapsody Outreach Program. From general health examination, eye test, blood sugar test, maternal and child health, distribution of drugs and mosquito nets, deworming amongst others, the Nigerian Navy is targeting all class of residents in its host community, Iguema, and neighboring communities like Liama and Bilitiema, which were all direct beneficiaries of the medical outreach.
The naval base that is here have been assisting us very well. All-round assistance is given to us, both security, medical.
Commanding Officer, Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Mosul, Navy Captain Ifeanyi Chukwu Mabioku, noted that the medical rhapsody is in line with the Chief of Naval Staff strategic directive, which encourages the spirit of service to humanity and commitment to add value to the quality of life of its host community.
This rhapsody is planned or projected to cover a total of about 600 persons that are having different or various ill health challenges. And it is hoped that after this time out, a follow-up session will also be arranged for them to go for further treatment and for us to ensure that they are properly treated.
Being a strategic player in Nigeria's security sector, the medical rhapsody is a strategic platform to strengthen the naval-civil-military relationship. In Yenegua, Baratwaipre Awe, NTA News.
The Senate and House of Representatives have adjourned plenary in honor of late member of the House, Olaide Akinremi, who died Wednesday morning after a brief illness. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikpen reports that it is a tradition of both chambers to suspend the day's plenary and other legislative activities in honor of a deceased colleague. 1 minute silence was observed separately in the red and green chambers, after which plenaries were adjourned to Thursday, 11th July. The presiding officers extended condolences to family members and associates of the late lawmaker.
His legacy of service, compassion, and leadership will continue to inspire us all.
On behalf of the Senate, we condole with the family, the Speaker, and members of the House of Representatives.
On a very sad note, I move that this House do adjourn to tomorrow.
That the Senate does suspend legislative activities for today, and that all items on our order paper be stepped down for the next legislative day.
Aged 51, late Olaide Akinremi represented Ibadan North Federal Constituency of Oyo State as a ranking member of the House of Representatives. He served as chairman of the House Committee on Science Research Institutions. And with that, we conclude the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.